Hi Gemini, welcome to your December reading. I hope you guys are doing well. We are under the eclipse energy right now. I'm such a rebel. Everybody's like, why are you doing the reading during eclipse season? Okay, so the Gemini full moon eclipse happened earlier this morning. It is November 30th. So for the next 6 months, this is actually starting like a whole eclipse cycle, right on this north node and south node axis that we're under right now. So for the next 6 months, the things that you're releasing right now, the things that you're really letting go of are creating this transformation that you've been working on for a very long time. Saturn and Jupiter are going to be shifting from Capricorn to Aquarius, and all of the things that you have had to learn about yourself in like the deepest soul way possible can now start to be integrated. And you know, with this Saturnian energy that's happening, going from Capricorn into Aquarius for you guys specifically, it's really teaching you how you've been sleeping on yourself, and like all of the transformative stuff that's happened in the last 3 years for you personally, all of the lessons that you had to go through, all of those really harsh realities that you had to learn, taught you how to grow up. It taught you how to be a better person, you know, especially if you were going through your Saturn return at the same time. But every single one of you has learned something new about yourself. And it really doesn't have much to do with what's going on in the collective. I think that some of us, some of you guys had to realize that change was necessary, and maybe a pandemic was the change that you absolutely needed in order to about face yourself. So Jupiter moving into Aquarius is this is a time of expansion for you. Where before Jupiter showed you the shadowy aspects of, you know, how you had to expand on the most shadowy aspects that you had, how you had to expand on that transformational process that's not always the most fun. Now again, you know, moving into Aquarius, you get to really start to manifest from those lessons that you learned and not go backwards, right? Like this is all about forward motion. This is all about future forward content from here on out. And so I want you to think about that. Think about what this last year has taught you. I'm sure that you learned a lesson in the last year. Think about what Saturn taught you in the last 3 years. Where were you 3 years ago? And how have you transformed since then? What are the things that you had to absolutely learn about yourself? And where were you possibly lying to yourself in the past? Like, how can you recreate and reset that alliance within yourself that you may have felt like you've lost in the last couple of years? The Sagittarius solar eclipse that's happening on December 14th is going to really put a spotlight on your relationships. And if you are in a relationship that's toxic or just not part of your journey, it doesn't even have to be toxic. If it's just something that you're not really vibing with, like this isn't like a particular thing and you aren't really sure how to express it or how to explain it, or what am I supposed to do in this situation where I'm not really vibing, but it's not really toxic, I don't even know. I guarantee you this eclipse season is going to help start to remove some things from your energy and your energetic space that will help you further yourself moving forward. And I think a lot of that is just being honest. Like, let's be real and let's be honest about the relationships that we have. You know, it's so funny because like I'm raising 2 Geminis, and we've had this conversation before. If you're watching me for the first time, I have 2. One is a full adult and the other one is almost an adult Geminis. And one of the biggest things, and I also grew up with a Gemini because my older brother's a Gemini too. So I'm very used to Gemini energy. Being a Virgo, I've always gotten along with you guys. We can have conversations that are extremely in depth, but sometimes I want to look at you guys and be like, you honestly believe what's coming out of your mouth out of your mouth right now. Like, do you realize what you just said? Like, what is that? And it's really interesting how you can spin certain things that you want to have. Like, you can make sense of something that doesn't really make sense, and you can spin it in such a way that makes it sound really, really good. And I'm like, that is a gift. That is a gift to be able to like find that one tiny little loophole and be able to spin it into something good. So, and I want to look at you guys and be like, are you kidding yourselves right now? But that's the thing, is like, you know, when you really, really want something to work, or when you really, really want to create out of, you know, whatever focus driven that you are at that moment, whatever it is that you want to create out of, you guys will do anything in your power possible to make it happen. And sometimes the universe is like, but that's not the key here. That's not the thing that we want to focus on. We want to let that stuff go. So don't kid yourself on trying to hold on to things just because there's a little loophole and there might be like a tiny little bright light within the process. Don't kid yourself through this eclipse season, because you could harm yourself more than you would care to, than you would actually want to. Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. The lessons that you're having to really learn right now is allowing the stuff to fall away. The things that you have been holding out hope for, the things that you really, really, really want to manifest into your life. It's time to sort of give up, or not give up. It's time to surrender. It's time to surrender all of that stuff to the universe. This is a very destined and very fated time for us. Your reading literally just like fell out on the table. So we're going to get to it. I'm going to get two more cards. All right. If you're feeling that confusion, if you're feeling like you don't really know what the next step is that you're supposed to be taking right now, that's absolutely fine. Like, I don't want you, and that's what I mean. Don't try and spin it in a good way just to make it work for you. That's not what we want to do during this eclipse season, because you could really get yourself into a lot of pressure moments. That's the only way I can think of to say it. Okay. So we have the Devil. We have the Tower, the Six of Swords, the Star, the Chariot, and then together came out the Seven of Cups and the Lovers. So there's your energy right there, all sorts of confused. And that's what I mean. It's like, it's okay if it doesn't make sense. You don't have to try and make sense of something that doesn't make sense right now, because that's going to drive you crazy, and it could lead you to manifesting something that is more of a lesson than you would care for it to be. You know, like if you want to manifest a relationship right now, but you're not really in the right state of mind, you could easily manifest somebody that's going to trigger you into healing if you would like to. If you want to manifest a new job right now, like my oldest son is a Gemini, and he's out on a job interview this morning. And I'm pretty sure that he's going to get it. But if you're manifesting a job right now and you don't end up getting the job after having the interview happen, then you have to understand that that's not what you were supposed to be doing, and there was another way. There was a better way for you to get around the problem, right? But this is a really big thing. If you're not paying attention to what Saturn is trying to teach you as he shifts from Capricorn into Aquarius, and these last final degrees before it goes into Aquarius on, I believe it's the 17th is when Capricorn, or when Saturn moves into Aquarius, either the 17th or the 19th. Neither here nor there. But once, if the lesson that you are learning with Saturn right now, that shift and those very last degrees, that's really karmic, right? So creating more problems, creating more lessons, creating more things that you have to detour around to get to where you're going. Like if you want to create chaos, that's fine. But the Six of Swords is saying that you want to move away from the chaos. Like you want to leave it all behind. You want to come from a place that is a lot more in alignment and with your purpose, right? So the more you move away from the chaotic moments, the more you move away from the forcing moments, right? You could also be dealing with a Capricorn, a Scorpio, a Cancer, or an Aquarius, too, that you have to absolutely release. You absolutely have to let go of. There's no more holding out hope that somebody's going to change. I don't know why I have to clap that. Don't hold out hope that somebody's going to change when they're absolutely not going to change. Okay? So let's see what this devil energy is. Because we are focus-driven, purpose-driven. This is where you're going, right? Saturn is here to help you balance yourself out, not to create more havoc. And that's the thing is Saturn, Kronos gets a really bad rap sometimes because everybody thinks he's the bad guy. He's restricting, he's blocking, he's in charge of time. Time sucks, time doesn't exist, all of those things, right? Divine timing, Saturnian. How about Saturn is here to tell us how to do things the right way so we don't have to repeat ourselves. Saturn is here to try and show us how to do things the right way so that we don't create the chaos. Saturn is here to show us the steps that we need to take to be responsible and to be fully aware of our bullshit. And when we're not being responsible and aware of our bullshit, we're out of alignment. So there's some kind of just cause, right? So justice, right? There's some kind of just cause that Saturn is creating for you guys. So there is an effort of balance that's being shown. And you can move away from the chaotic parts of it, but if you don't allow yourself to learn these lessons and you just sort of plow through them, it's going to be much more difficult. You know, this is an opportunity for you to see how far you've come. The Strength card with the Tower. Are you leveling up? Are you allowing yourself to level up? Or are you holding yourself back based on a past expectation, based on a belief system, based on because people told you something, and so now you are holding on to that kind of information and you're not allowing yourself to level up from there. That Strength on the Tower is a really big thing. It's about showing you how far you have grown, how much you have accomplished. And anything less, if you're like giving anything less than the best version of yourself every single day, there is kind of a reboot that needs to happen. You need to recognize why you can't give your best version. I know 2020 was hard. I get it. And I know that 2020 was a little bit harder for some people than others, right? I understand the disappointment. I understand the pain. I understand the stress. I understand all of that. I also understand that allowing ourselves to live in a world where we're told that we're supposed to be stressed, where we're told that we're supposed to be in pain, where we're told that because all of this is happening, it's happening so that we have to feel a certain way or do a certain thing, right? Like there is a fear-based programming that some of us have really like in a big deep way believed. And I think that you're just ready for that lightening, right? You're ready for things to lift and to lighten up and to not create such a blockage in the evolution, you know, in your growth process. But if you stop and you look and you see, even through all that pain and even through all that stress and even through all that harsh energy that we had to feel through 2020, there was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of growth there. You could also be dealing with the Leo energy that you need to remove from your life as well with that Strength card. The Libras in your life may be the ones that are teaching you some lessons. Really pay attention. If you have a Libra friend, they may either be the lesson or they may be teaching you a lesson. Let's see what the Six of Swords is, because the Six of Swords could mean that you even physically, not just in a mental way, but you physically want to move away from the stress and the chaos and the pain, right? Like, there's really a desire for Geminis right now to manifest something much easier or much more beautiful. I actually want to say it that way. Much more beautiful and maybe not necessarily easier. I don't know that anything easier, quote unquote easier, is existing right now. But that Nine of Cups on the Six of Swords, the easiest and best way for you to move in a better direction is to see how far you've come. And to recognize all, like your entire path in front of you is under your control. Like everything that you want to manifest from here on out is absolutely under your control. Like you can create it from this present moment, but you have to release the past. You have to release the expectations of the past, and you have to release the fear, right? Moving away from that. We're headed towards the purpose. I love this energy. Saturn moving into Aquarius. I think that some of you are actually physically moving too, or planning on a vacation. That's really interesting to say. But there's definite movement. If you are trying to figure out where that purpose lies, if you're trying to figure out what it is that you want to do moving forward from here, and you're sort of at a crossroads, you're not alone. Trust me, you're not alone. There's a lot of energy surrounding that kind of manifestation right now. Like, I don't even know what I'm trying to manifest. And that's actually the best place to be in. If you're at a crossroads with that Two of Wands and you're like, I don't even know what direction I'm supposed to be going in, so I'm just going to stand still. I would rather you do that. I would rather you stand still and wait for that nudge, wait for that push forward into the next part of your journey, instead of creating something that may end up being a lesson down the road, like by trying to force the energy. But that Two of Wands is like, you're at a crossroads, and you could go one direction that looks really, really rough to go down, but it's a direct, straight shot towards your purpose. Or you could go the other direction that's a much easier course. It'll just take a little bit longer to get there. And you may have some extra lessons along the way that you have to learn. I, for one, am the one to just jump into the deep end and take the lessons the way that I'm supposed to, right? But to each their own. And you get to decide the course from here on out. It's not about what your environment or what the world is trying to tell you your life is supposed to look like. This is about you taking action on the direction you want to go in. There may be a water sign that you're headed towards. I love this. The Queen of Cups on the Chariot. There may be a water sign that you're headed towards. They may be a part of your journey. But I think this water sign shows up after a time of release. Like, I feel like you have to make space for this person. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of the reasons why we lose things in life or things fall away in life, is because we're making space for the new, improved, leveled up versions of people in your life. So whether this is you know, a Cancer that's in your life, or whether it's a Pisces that's in your life, or even a Scorpio with this Tower energy up here, there's definitely a sense of your focus is on a particular outcome. So making space and making room for that outcome to manifest in the way that's for your best and highest good, that's the goal here, right? We don't want to force anything right now. So we have the Lovers on the Seven of Cups. Let's see. Now, if this is, I think that this is just a sheer confusion. It feels like Geminis are just really, really confused right now. And sometimes I feel like, oh yeah, the energy that you're putting in. Four of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck. You're sitting in a watery energy, an emotional energy as well. Don't hold on to the things that are giving you mixed signals. If you are putting all of your energy into one person, into one situation, into one basket, and you're getting mixed signals back. So I have the Six of Pentacles and I have the King of Cups on the Lovers and the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups for me, when it comes to romantic stuff, is mixed signals. It's confusing, right? So if you're putting all of your energy into something that's just confusing you even further, I want you to take a step back. And I want you to say, is this worth disturbing all of my peace that I've created for myself? Is this worth disturbing all of that? Is there a better way? Because I don't want you to, Four of Pentacles, hold on to something, Knight of Wands, that's just a little iffy. We don't want to hold on to something that's just a little iffy. Whether it's a relationship, like this could be money oriented. This could be a relationship. This could be a belief system. This could be an old pattern that you thought was working for you and now it just isn't working for you anymore. And it's fine that it's not working for you anymore, but if you continue to try and force it to work, or you continue to try and have that same belief system, you'll just be going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. You'll be repeating that cycle over and over and over again. Purpose-driven only. Whatever it is that is meant for you in this lifetime for your purpose will show up. You just have to align yourself to that energy. Betsy, what does that mean? Aligning yourself to that energy is aligning to the best version of yourself. And if you're lying to yourself or you're sugarcoating things or you're trying to find the silver lining in something that is just a huge shitstorm, you're not creating the best version of your own alignment every day. So you have to release the things that are just a little bit iffy. And maybe if you release them and you can come back to them down the road, they're not so iffy anymore. But when we allow ourselves to surrender to the purpose, that's when everything starts to show up. Try not to get into the arguments. Communication is going to be really, really off right now. Extremely off, especially as Mercury moves into your 7th house of relationships. That happens on tomorrow. Mercury enters Sagittarius tomorrow on December 1st. So, it doesn't matter if you think you're right. Trying to push the issue and trying to force the other person to see that you're right could cause more problems and stress than you would care to have happen. So just sort of pull yourself back. And it's not that I just want you to like, yes, if people need to hear the truth, absolutely. Tell them the truth. If people need to hear that, I don't want you to shy away from telling your truth. Absolutely. The thing is some people don't understand that, when you are speaking the truth, that it's like, if they project back or try and argue with the situation, like not everybody's going to understand where you're coming from. Not everybody's going to want to listen to what you have to say right now. And forcing your energy onto them is kind of a waste of your time. We don't have time to waste. You know what I mean? So don't try and force anything onto people. And man, stay away from those deceptive energies. That sucks. This 7 of Swords and this Knight of Swords, I feel like someone's trying to screw you over in a really big way. We're not doing that anymore. Keep your eyes wide open. Stay aware. I have some spots open for those 6-month forecast readings still in the second half of December. That's where we are scheduling now. I also have that manifesting workshop. It's an amazing workshop. We did it in November. It's more than just manifesting. It's giving you like real life ways of just feeling better so that you can manifest. Like there are going to be some everyday opportunities and everyday tools to really just make you feel better. And I think during all of this 2020, we deserve to feel better, damn it. So that workshop's on December 14th. And yeah, everything else, if you would like to schedule a reading with me, I've got readings open right now. I'll probably be shutting them down a little bit as we get into the middle of December because I want to get all of the forecast readings, the general forecast readings done too. So I love you guys. Have a wonderful holiday season and I will see you really soon. Bye.